training for drone strike on St. Pete, according to the Sun. They really poking the bear on this one here.
What?
The report said that the exercises involved a jet-powered drone, which has a range of more than 240 kilometers. The aircraft is designed to ammunition warehouses.
I like the green glow of the light.
They're rich.
Ooh. This is the new fan, y'all. Ooh. So sorry, BetsyBlue. I can't tell you how good God is. I'm in the car, y'all. Y'all can see I'm in the car. I'm up here folding these blankets.
God bless, Auntie.
God bless you. Thank you so much. God bless you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you're getting better here.
Yes, thank you. That guy just came up. He just gave me $100. Is it real? Is it real? I'm gonna ask the store if it's real. I see the blue mark. I don't know if this is real or not, y'all. But I'll try and see. God bless him anyway. I hope it's real. I should go to the store and ask Evans, is this real? I'll probably do that after I end this video. Because, you know, some people out here have funny money. You know what I mean? And they give it to you. I'm going to go ask. When I go to the bus stop, I'm going to ask Evans, is it real? But if it's real, thank you and God bless you. Ooh, child. So the cord to my fan, it didn't work. I'm gonna try it again. I got my fan going on. It is hot out here, y'all. I'm gonna try to see if it works. Turn this off. I wanted to ask him, was it real? But I didn't want to insult him, you know? Like, this is the cord they gave me. It wasn't working last night. But luckily, we keep cords. I'm going to plug this right back here. Now let's see if it charges. I'm gonna turn this back on. It's the green light. I got 60% left. I'm not gonna take it to the library to charge today. It works, but it's a funny cord. That's all I can say. Let me see. See if you can see the lights blinking, so it's charging. But there's nothing in the output. On the jackery, it's not saying anything. I don't know, but the light is blinking. So, luckily I got this cord. It's a strong cord, so Okay, he's pulling out. He's pulling out. I'm gonna go to the store and ask Evans. I'm gonna ask him, is this funny money or is it real money? I mean, it has the blue mark. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so this cord is really no good. I'm not gonna throw it away. I'm just gonna throw it up here. Yeah, I mean, God, God bless him. If that's real money, if that's a real $100 bill, y'all, I'm gonna come back on and let you know too, if it's real or fake. Yes, everything's gonna be just fine. We found this too, like a couple of months ago. He's been using this to massage my feet at night. God bless his soul. My husband loves me to death. He do. I don't think he'll be able to function without me. Oh man, it's so hot. I had some tissue, and I think I threw it away accidentally. I needed that tissue. Yeah, I was gonna do something. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get me some ice for my. If I get ice, I will have to catch 3 buses to get to Wawa. Well, 2 buses to get to Wawa, and then the 3rd to get to the library. Or I can just go and pay E, and he'll give me a cup of ice. Can you believe that? I hope that $100 is real. God. He had some singles in his hand, so I thought he was giving me the singles. Then out of his other pocket, he pulled out the $100. My husband done left to the library already. He's an early morning riser. I just, it's not within me to rise early. I am not. Even though I did have a job that started at 8 o'clock. That was at a mom and pop's restaurant. 8 o'clock, 8:30. It killed me. I did that job for 2 years. It killed me. And my husband likes to hang out late, and he rarely sleeps. Sometimes he don't sleep for 2 days. And I said, I'm not that person. I was telling him last, I'm not that person. I'm not. You've been with me for what, 17 years? You know I'm a late sleeper. I can sleep till 2 p.m. You know, wake up off and on, just lay down there and lounge. I'm a lounger. I love to travel. I love to eat. Now, really, the only time I do get up early is when I'm on a vacation. Because I don't want to miss nothing, especially when you go on a cruise ship. Man, when I was in Beijing, oh man, they had some awesome. Them Chinese people can cook. And breakfast started at 6 a.m. And I was staying in a Days Inn hotel. fabulous. It was nothing like an American hotel, Days Inn. Boy, they had every American breakfast. It was done to perfection. They had the omelet station. Oh my gosh, I got up early. Early in the morning, and rushed down to get my omelet made. Any type of filling you want. And I was looking at it, when I first went, I was like, man, I don't like the fact they're using oil to make the omelet, but that Chinese man knew what he was doing. That chef knew what he was doing. You don't even taste the oil. Oh my God, it was fabulous. And ever since that day, for 5 days, I made sure I got down to that buffet bar. Every American bacon, eggs, waffles, pancakes, everything. The whole, have your eggs cooked any way you want it. This is for the food lovers out here. I'm a food lover. I'm a foodie. That was some good breakfast. It was better than any breakfast I ever tasted in the States. Oh, they knew what they was doing. They knew how to cook American food better than we did. Well, at least American breakfast. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you. It was so good. Oh, when they had me up and running, it was so good. When I went there, it was cold. I went in February, so they had winter like us. It was cold. And that one was taking us all on all these daggone tours all throughout the Emperor's Palace, and it was cold, long. Sometimes it was rainy, but it was a wonderful experience. I encourage you. I don't care. Get on a plane. Don't be afraid. Get on a plane. Get on a cruise. Don't be afraid. Get on a train. Man, working for the airlines, you get tired of flying. You really do. And see, when I first started out with the airline, I was heavy. I was big. I wasn't 319, but I was heading towards the direction. I was probably maybe like 275 or 290. I was close to 319. No, at the point I was 319. And when you're that heavy, when you're that big, you can't fit in those coach class seats. You just can't fit in there. Oh, by the way, happy today. I don't even say it is Tuesday, so happy Tuesday. But by the time I put this out, it'd be another day. So happy today. Mwah. Blessings. Thank you, new subscribers, old subscribers. I love you as well. But yeah, when I was working for the airlines, I've been there for 13 years. And then I worked for another airline for 2 years. And at my original airlines, well, at the time, it's not even an airline anymore. It was Continental Airlines. I used to work for Continental Airlines. And they merged to United, so. And I left the company when it was United, because I made a wrong decision and I didn't think about or pray and ask God, should I make that decision? I just made a hasty decision. But anyway, at the time when it was Continental Airlines, and I was working in Newark, New Jersey, I worked on a ramp for 1 year. I liked that. I did. I didn't know that I liked it at the time, but thinking back on that, working for the ramp, it was great for 1 year. I used to be a freight runner. So you go back and forth to the freight house, to the gates, dropping off freight. But I started out, when I first started with the company, I didn't even work in the continental area. I started out working for SAS. I forgot what that stands for. I started working in the cargo area, cargo freight building of SAS. I was big. And you bid every so often, every 6 months or something like that, every year. Well, anyway, I had just started, so I think within 3 months, I bid it again. I came closer. I came to the freight house. I bid it to the freight house in the Continental area. You know, Continental now. I was working for Continental, but I was working at a SAS, a different airline building. Different stuff. Okay. And so, you know, it was doing the freight. You know, and you're not trained. You just get on and learn. So I'm working a forklift. I'm riding around a forklift. We, you know, playing around on the forklift and everything. And I'm working see, when you have air brakes, you're supposed to have a CDL license. You need all that. I used to get on a bobtail. I can't explain what a bobtail is, but it's this truck that pulls, you know, and you latch the carts, and the carts have numbers on it, and it has a destination of which car is to be dropped at different gates. So I was a freight runner. I became a freight runner. And I enjoyed doing that. But before I was a freight runner, I was in Terminal C, and it was a place on the ramp called the T-Point, transfer point, where they drop off all the mail, you know, from what city is going to, you know, throughout the whole United States. And you sort out all the bags. They'll come drop off the bags. You sort out all the bags, put them in a designated cart that is going to go through, shut the cart up. That cart is done, boom, move that car out the way. And then I transferred to, you know, I want to be a freight runner. After I begged my supervisor for like 3 months. I'm tired of staying in this one spot, not seeing what's going on around this whole airport. Oh man, I seen so much stuff going around that airport. Once he put me on wheels. His name was Rory. My supervisor's name was Rory. He was such a hard ass. He was. Well, I had begged him, please, let me become a zone runner. Let me become a zone runner. What? I think for 3 months I had begged him. I want to get out of here. I'm tired of just staying in this one spot sorting these daggone mail bags. Boy, I used to complain. I think I was 26 years old. 26 years old. 1998. Yep, that's when I started that job. 1998. Boy, he was such a hard ass. He was trying to lose weight. Eventually, he lost some weight. So, you know, finally I got the chance to be a zone runner, and so went back and forth driving my truck. And our vehicles was better than see. Okay, you have the cargo agents' vehicles and you have the ramp agents' vehicles. The cargo agent's vehicle was better. It had a roof, a covering, and it had heat during the, when it becomes winter, the cold months. It didn't have air conditioning, just had heat. But the ramp's vehicle, the people who put your bags on the plane, they don't have a covering. They just, they have that little vehicle that they drive in, there's no covering. At least for my airline, I don't know about every other airlines. They didn't have any covering. And sometimes when we come, at the gate, and we'll park by gate 80 where they had the food, the cafeteria. We come back out from ordering our food from the cafeteria, getting our food from the cafeteria, our vehicle will be gone. But you know your vehicle and you know your vehicle number. And you're stuck like Chuck on the ramp, and you like, man, I gotta walk back over. But you're searching for your vehicle, and some ramp guy stole it. Yeah, they stole your vehicle. They ain't like cargo. They ain't like us. Cargo didn't like ramp. Ramp didn't like cargo. Ramp always stole our vehicles because our vehicles was better. And it was. And so, cargo agents learn, look, when you go on the ramp, so we started telling each other, when you go on the ramp and park your vehicle, take out, it was a plug that you took out, and your engine won't start without that plug. Take the plug out, put it in your pocket, go inside the building, order your food, whatever, and your vehicle's still going to be there. Ramp won't steal it. And so that's what I started doing. I think they stole my vehicle one time. I remember it was this guy. He's an African guy. guy we work with, he on the ramp. He was so nice, so nice. But when he gets angry, and they came and stole his vehicle, boy, oh boy, he let that ramp guy have it. It was so funny, and his African accent, it was just so funny. I forgot his name. But he was so nice, but don't get him angry, boy, because he gonna let you have it. Let you have it. Oh, we shall. I had some great times at the airlines. I got stories to tell. Stories to entertain you. Let me know if you want me to tell my stories. I'll tell them. But let me tell you something. We were like family, and then I transferred up to. We were like family. I remember we always used to play music down there in our office area. You know, you come from running freights or dropping off freights at the gates, coming to the office area, break room. It's like an office. It was 2 offices, break room area. It's music always playing. Music always playing. It was such a jovial place. It was very fun. And I couldn't find another airline like that. And then I transferred upstairs to become a ticket counter gate agent. I didn't like the ticket counter. I don't like the ticket counter. I'm a gate agent person. I'm the person that'll board you on your plane and take your ticket, scan it, whatever. And don't piss off a gate agent. Because during my time, we had power. We made executive decisions. Don't get on a gate agent's bad side. And don't get on a flight attendant's bad side. Because the flight attendant could tell the captain and they divert and mess up everybody's plan to do this because of your ignorance or whatever. You mess up everybody. And I be watching these YouTube videos. I'm like, some of these people come on the plane and get themselves kicked off. And it's their own fault. We all are accountable for our actions. I know I'm accountable for mine. But don't mess up everybody's plan because of your stupidity or your ignorance or your pride or whatever. Just stop the nonsense. And once I see a person like the gate agent's supposed, if they can, because we don't know everything. But the gate agent, if they see that this person is going to be a problem on the plane, you don't put them on the plane. If they keep harassing you, coming back to you, speaking to you, blah, blah, blah to you. I remember one time I went down to it was this one passenger, just I don't know, just unhappy inside. His spirit wasn't right, and he just wanted to nitpick and pick and just. And one time I went down, I went to the captain because the captain has say-so over everything. So I went to the captain. I was like, look, I have this passenger, his name is this, it's a seat number like that, but he's giving me a hard time up here on in the waiting area. You know, he's buzzing and bothering, wanting about this, the what, and he's being unruly. It seems like he want to start something. I don't know. I don't feel good about him and his vibes. I don't feel good about boarding him. You know, you have to have that. You know, have that in your spirit. You feel like, okay, this person don't need to be on this plane. You know, I'll tell you, I don't feel good or right putting him on this plane. And he said, you know what? I remember he said, you know what? You better go with your feeling. Because he said, I don't want anybody like that on my plane disrupting my flight. I said, okay. I said, you know what? I'm gonna wait until before I start boarding to see if he give me more problems. If you have to make hard decisions. If he starts giving me more problems, then we're gonna pull his bags and we're gonna just get him off the plane. Because being on a plane, it's a serious situation. I mean, come on now. Y'all 30,000, 40,000, 45,000 feet in the air. You don't want no nonsense. You don't want no nonsense. And y'all gotta come on, you gotta come on board and act right. You really do. You have to come on board. You gotta act right. You gotta act right in the waiting area. You gotta act right. We don't play this nonsense. In North New Jersey, New York, we have Port Authority. And you don't mess with Port Authority. Once we called Port Authority on your tail, we had to call Port Authority on a soldier. I think he was traumatized. That poor man. He was drunk. He was just yelling in the waiting area. He had his fatigues on, dressed in military gear. Drunk as a skunk. He was just yelling and just, we feel threatened when you come and just lean up on our desk and just stay there and start yelling and spouting, and you're just in the way. Passengers are scared of you, and oh man, we had to call Port Authority. And they come with guns and rifles and AKAs, and they come armed up too. And I believe this military guy was a senior in whatever military he was a senior. Because he looked, kind of old, maybe 50 something. You feel bad to do that to somebody who's servicing your country. You understand? Man, I gotta call the cops on you? For real? I gotta call Port Authority? Come on. You had everybody in that waiting area scared. Because they traumatized out there in the military, especially if they went to war. I think it was during the Afghanistan war, I don't know. And you don't want to mess with people like that because they liable to freak out and do something. Even though you can't have any weapons, but still in all, they have tricks. They know certain moves, that can enable you. And I wasn't there at the time, but from the story that I heard, one of our own got his neck broken and he couldn't work for the rest of his life. It was a man, he worked for Navy SEALs. This is the story I heard. One of his children ran up into the jetway, and you can't go up in the jetway. We had the door open and, deplaning, and that's what I heard, deplaning. And sometimes we leave the door open because we brought the port after that. And one of the Navy SEAL's daughter or child, I don't know, ran up into the jetway, and the agent ran after him. And then the father ran after them into the jetway. And I don't know, some altercation happened. They told him, I heard that they picked him up and slammed him on his head and broke his neck. But nothing happened to the Navy SEAL guy. They went to court. Some agents had to testify. Agents meaning us. We call each other agents. We had to testify. They had to testify. I don't know if he got any compensation. Continental had lawyers to represent him, but from what I heard, it's nothing really. I don't think he really benefited from that trial. So, and a lot of us, agents was very mad, is what I heard, but that guy can't. I felt bad because he couldn't work. He's disabled. Sure, he had family and his children, and now you gotta live the rest of your life in that neck brace or whatever. I don't know. It's so many stories, so many scams, and a lot of people don't know that the FBI be watching these flights, these agents. I didn't know it until I found out. And I could have easily been involved because I was doing what they were watching, but I wasn't being criminal like some of the other agents, or being sneaky or conniving or deceiving like a lot of these other agents. It was happening underneath my nose, and I didn't know. I wasn't all that savvy. I wasn't all that privy to what was going on. And I thank God. I have morals. I have boundaries. I am not that desperate. I am not desperate at all. I love my freedom. I don't want to be locked up over some foolishness to please a passenger. I don't care how much money he's giving me. I know my freedom means more to me than any amount of money. And I can say, I thank God. My life, I'm not rotting my life away in jail over some money and foolishness. I look back on it, I was like, really? That's why this happened. That's why they came down and overtook my flight. That's why that's why. And I said, because this has never happened before. Everybody's supposed to stay in your lane. If you're a ticket agent, you belong in the ticket counter. If you're a gate agent, you belong at the gates. When some people, some employees, and the supervisor comes down from the ticket area to work your flight, that's fishy. And I thought it was fishy. I said, something's funny. Something's wrong happening here. And it's always these two employees, the supervisor and her minion. Something's funny about it. And you push me as the controlling agent on the flight away, telling me that you got this. Something's going on and there's a problem. I don't want to be no part of it. I called staff planners. I said, take my name off this flight immediately, because they don't know what's going on. Such and such and such is happening. Such and such came down here and started taking over the flight. Take my name off this flight immediately. Whatever they're doing on this flight, I want no association of it whatsoever. Take my name off this flight. And I told the other people that work with me on the flight, because sometimes you want a big flight, you have like 5 or 6 other employees working with you. You're the controlling agent. You tell everybody what to do. And I told everybody, I was like, look, it's up to you, but I'm getting off this flight. And most of the other agents say, I'm getting off this flight too. And we just caused them to take our names off. Why? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you why. Because the ticket counter agents and the supervisor came down here to take over this flight. Now you put her name and their name, I told them all the names, put them on this flight, take my names off this flight. I'm walking off the flight. I'm walking off. I'm walking off. When I check the computer, my name better not be on that flight. That's all I can say. My name better not be on that flight. And a little while afterwards, I started hearing stories. The FBI caught them doing this on this flight and all this. And You ain't see her no more. You ain't see them no more. I got another story for you. When I found this particular package on the ramp, when I was working on the ramp. But I'm gonna end this, guys, and if you want to hear about it, just let me know. I'm gonna end this, guys, and I am going to get ready to go to the library. Smooches. Thank you. Happy today. I'll talk to you guys later, and stay tuned.